They say the gods didn't whisper their secrets in words. They hid them in the breath. In ancient India, it was believed that the rhythm of life itself could be mastered through a single, invisible force, prana, the life energy flowing through every inhale and exhale. Modern science may call it oxygen, but to the yogis, it was something far greater, the key to awakening a higher state of consciousness. Imagine if a simple act you've been doing unconsciously since birth could unlock superhuman focus, emotional control, and limitless energy. In 1936, a British explorer documented meeting an Indian sage who could slow his heartbeat to nearly nothing and remain buried underground for days, all through his breath. Western doctors were stunned. What kind of power could control the body so completely? Today, most of us breathe shallowly, trapped in the chaos of modern life, unaware that within us lies the same ancient power. The secret that once shaped warriors, sages, and monks isn't lost. It's waiting. Waiting for you to remember how to breathe like a human who knows their full potential. We live in an age of constant motion, endless notifications, glowing screens, and the noise of urgency that never seems to stop. From the moment we wake, our minds are hijacked by stimulation. The body moves, but the breath? It's forgotten. Each shallow inhale mirrors the restless chaos of our minds, and we wonder why we feel drained before the day even begins. This disconnection is not just mental, it's biological. When we breathe rapidly or unconsciously, our nervous system shifts into a constant fight-or-flight state. Cortisol floods the bloodstream. Focus scatters. The heart races. We lose access to the calm, centered awareness that ancient cultures once considered sacred. The result is modern burnout, a state where our brains are exhausted, our emotions unstable, and our inner peace extinct. The irony? The solution has always been within us, in every breath we take. Yet we've lost touch with it, replaced presence with performance, and traded silence for speed. We've forgotten the oldest truth, that the quality of our breath shapes the quality of our mind. But what if we could reclaim that connection? What if the same breath that sustains us could also transform us? The ancients believed it could, and they proved it through experience, not theory. Thousands of years before modern science began measuring brain waves and heart rates, the sages of ancient India had already mapped the invisible landscape of human consciousness through breath. They called it pranayama, a Sanskrit word that means control of life energy. To them, the breath was not just a biological process, but the bridge between the body, the mind, and the spirit. According to ancient texts like the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, when you master the breath, you master the mind. When the breath is unsteady, the mind is restless. But when the breath flows in rhythm, the mind becomes still. And in that stillness, something extraordinary happens. You enter a state beyond ordinary awareness, where intuition sharpens, creativity awakens, and the boundaries of fear and fatigue dissolve. Modern man chases stimulation, seeking power from the outside. Ancient India sought power from within, and they found it by mastering the rhythm of life itself. These breathing methods were once passed only to the most dedicated students, warriors, and monks, those who could handle the responsibility of their power. Now, this knowledge is returning. Science is finally catching up to what the ancients already knew, that your breath is not just air, it's consciousness in motion. Science today is finally illuminating what the ancients felt through intuition. that the breath is the control panel of the human nervous system. Every inhale and exhale is not just a physical exchange of gases, but a direct message to the brain, telling it whether we are safe, focused, or under threat. When we breathe deeply and rhythmically, the vagus nerve, a superhighway connecting the brain to the body, signals calm and balance. Heart rate slows. Muscles release tension. The mind becomes clear. Neuroscientists have discovered that slow, deliberate breathing increases activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, creativity, and focus. Meanwhile, rapid, shallow breaths activate the amygdala, the brain's fear center. This means your state of mind can shift simply by altering your breath. You can literally breathe your way from chaos to clarity. Oxygen is the most vital fuel for human performance. Yet most people underuse their lungs, filling only a fraction of their capacity. Proper breathing optimizes oxygen exchange, balances CO2 levels, and even influences pH in the blood, all crucial for mental precision and physical endurance. In short, breathwork is not mystical fluff. It's neurobiology in action, a precise tool for mastering energy, focus, and resilience. In ancient Indian philosophy, breath was never seen as a mere physical act. It was sacred. The ancients believed that prana, the life force within the breath, flowed through subtle energy channels called nadis, nourishing both body and spirit. Where modern science measures oxygen, the yogis sensed energy. Where doctors see lungs, they saw gateways to consciousness. Breath, to them, was the meeting point between the finite and the infinite. They taught that every inhale was an act of receiving life, and every exhale was an act of surrender, a rhythm mirroring creation itself. To breathe with awareness was to dance in harmony with the cosmos. This was not philosophy, it was practice. Through breath, they expanded perception beyond the body and awakened what they called the third state, a level of awareness where intuition becomes guidance and thought becomes power. Spiritual masters like the rishis and yogis didn't just meditate for peace. They meditated to tune into this vast field of intelligence, the same field that modern quantum theory now describes as an interconnected energy matrix. Breath was their key. Science explains the mechanism. Spirituality reveals the meaning. Together, they unveil the same truth. The breath is the bridge between matter and mind, energy and awareness, human and divine. The hyperconscious state, it sounds almost mythical, yet it's entirely real. This state is not about escaping the body or transcending reality. It's about fully awakening within it. It's the razor's edge where awareness sharpens, time slows, and perception expands. In this heightened state, the mind no longer drifts aimlessly. It becomes laser-focused. The body no longer reacts chaotically. It obeys with precision. Ancient Indian warriors, yogis, and sages used breath to enter this zone deliberately. For the warrior, it meant perfect timing in battle, where instinct and strategy merged. For the monk, it meant entering states of meditation so deep that the heartbeat itself seemed to vanish. In both cases, they tapped into the same secret. Mastery of breath equals mastery of state. Modern researchers describe this as flow, a condition where action and awareness become one. But the ancients went further. They described not just peak performance, but peak presence. They discovered that when the breath becomes conscious, energy flows freely through the mind and body. Thought becomes clear. Emotion stabilizes. Awareness expands beyond the personal self. This is the hyperconscious state. Not mystical fantasy, but the next evolution of human awareness. And it begins with one conscious breath. Before you begin the ancient breathing technique, preparation is essential. Breathwork is not just a physical act. It's a dialogue between your consciousness and your body. You must enter it with respect, intention, and focus. Think of it as tuning an instrument before a sacred performance. The mind must be quiet, and the body must be ready. Find a calm space where you won't be disturbed. Sit upright, either cross-legged on the floor or on a chair with your feet grounded. Keep your spine straight but relaxed, like a tree rooted deeply yet flexible in the wind. Close your eyes. Let your hands rest gently on your knees or in your lap. Feel the natural rhythm of your breath without changing it. Observe it, as if watching waves rise and fall on the ocean's surface. The key is presence. Before practicing, release distractions. Silence your phone, dim the lights, and let the world fade for a moment. You are about to enter an ancient current of energy that has flowed through human consciousness for millennia. Approach it not as an exercise, but as a sacred remembrance, a reunion with the essence of life itself. When the body is aligned and the mind is calm, the breath becomes your teacher. Now that your body and mind are aligned, it's time to practice the ancient Indian breathing technique, a method known for awakening clarity, focus, and inner power. This particular form is inspired by Anulom Vilom, also known as alternate nostril breathing, refined through centuries of yogic mastery. It balances the left and right hemispheres of the brain, harmonizes energy, and clears the pathways of prana, the life force flowing through you. Begin by placing your right thumb gently on your right nostril and your ring finger near your left nostril. Inhale slowly through the left nostril for a count of 4. Feel the cool air entering, the lungs expanding, and the mind growing still. Pause for a count of 4. This is the sacred moment of stillness where breath and awareness merge. Then exhale gently through the right nostril for a count of 4, releasing tension and thought with the outflow of air. Now, switch sides. Inhale through the right nostril for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale through the left for 4. This completes one cycle. Continue this pattern for at least 10 cycles, breathing softly but deliberately, maintaining a rhythm of calm precision. As you continue, notice how your awareness deepens. The boundaries between thought and breath blur. Energy begins to flow more freely. Your heartbeat slows, your mind clears, and the stillness inside expands. You're no longer just breathing air. You're breathing consciousness itself. If practiced daily, this technique doesn't just calm you, it rewires you. Over time, stress signals fade faster, focus sharpens, and emotional turbulence subsides. Each breath becomes an anchor to the present moment, the gateway to the hyperconscious state. When you finish the final cycle of breathing, do not rush to open your eyes or move. Stay in the stillness. This is where the real magic unfolds, in the quiet space after the breath, where your inner world becomes vividly alive. You may feel warmth in your chest, tingling in your fingertips, or a gentle vibration through your spine. These sensations are not random. They are signs that energy, prana, is flowing freely again. In this moment, your nervous system is balanced. Your body has shifted from stress to coherence. The left and right hemispheres of your brain are synchronizing, creating a sense of effortless clarity. Thoughts soften. The chatter fades, What remains is awareness, pure, calm, and awake. After your session, take a few slow breaths and bring your attention back to your surroundings. Feel gratitude. This isn't just a practice. It's a reconnection. Throughout the day, notice how your perception changes. You may find yourself responding instead of reacting, focusing with more ease, or feeling a subtle sense of inner power that doesn't depend on caffeine or motivation. Integration is key. The technique itself is the spark, but your awareness after practice is the flame. The more consistently you nurture it, the longer it burns, lighting every corner of your mind. With consistent practice, the results of ancient breathwork become undeniable. Your energy levels rise naturally, no longer dependent on sugar, coffee, or fleeting adrenaline. The mind, once scattered and reactive, becomes sharp and adaptable. You find yourself completing tasks with precision, creativity flowing effortlessly, and decisions emerging from intuition rather than hesitation. Emotional turbulence softens. Stress no longer hijacks your nervous system. Athletes report improved endurance and faster recovery. Executives experience unparalleled focus, and creatives tap into ideas that seem to come from beyond ordinary thought. Even simple daily interactions feel richer as you engage with people and situations from a place of calm awareness rather than reactive tension. Studies now show that regular controlled breathing strengthens the autonomic nervous system, reduces inflammation, and improves heart rate variability, all markers of resilience and longevity. Ancient wisdom predicted this centuries ago. The breath is the conduit of life, the bridge between human potential and actualization. Most importantly, this practice cultivates presence. By mastering your breath, you master the moment. And mastering the moment is mastering life itself. The hyperconscious state is no longer a distant myth. It becomes an accessible reality, one conscious inhale and exhale at a time. Now it's your turn. You have discovered a secret that has been guarded for millennia. The ability to access a hyperconscious state through your own breath. This is not a fleeting trick or a gimmick. It is a tool for transformation that is always within you. Commit to a simple practice. 10 minutes of conscious breathing each day for the next 7 days. Observe how your mind begins to settle, how your energy stabilizes, and how your awareness deepens. Remember, this is your invitation to reclaim the power you were born with. The breath is the most ancient instrument of human mastery, and it has never forgotten you. As you continue, you will notice subtle shifts. A calm in the chaos, clarity in confusion, and confidence in uncertainty. You are reconnecting with a lineage of sages, warriors, and visionaries who understood that true power begins with presence. Take this moment seriously. Set aside distractions. Find your quiet space. Breathe. Feel the energy awaken within, and let it guide you toward peak performance, creativity, and emotional mastery. Your potential is not outside. It is already flowing through every inhalation and exhalation. Claim it